The action.
Oh yeah, we rolling. All right, welcome back. The year is almost coming to an end. We got about 20 some odd days. I don't feel like doing the math, but y'all know why y'all here. I know why I'm here. Unpaid, but I do it because. Why the fuck do I do this?
Because I asked you to fill in and I never found a real host, and you've literally just become the host. But I get messages about how much people like you, so keep it up.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You're a fan favorite.
If they knew me in real life.
They knew how much I edited out.
Right. Like if they knew me in real life. But that's a different episode. That would be funny. A day in the life. Just wait, because you know, ain't too much going on in my life right now. I have a lot of free time. But Trump still out here being a hating ass motherfucker. No surprise. Apparently his team held up Biden's intel team from a meeting. We've never seen anyone be so against losing that they literally throw millions of dollars in the toilet to not accept defeat. And the crazy shit is, people know this and still donate like they're donating to some just cause or like the saving of America. Like, I'm really starting to have a problem with people calling themselves patriots, because that's like the equivalent of you calling yourself undercover racist.
He has raised over $200 million since the election.
Stole?
Raised.
Stole?
No.
Stole?
No.
Embezzled?
No.
Defrauded?
No. People donated this.
Borrowed?
As in the Trump Defense Fund. Like I said, this isn't no trick. People just handed him over $200 million to force recounts, to pay legal fees, to bring him out of
don't say that.
Election debt from his election campaign.
What has,
and to protect him for going forward.
I'm not even gonna ask that, because I know what Trump did for y'all that gave y'all that money. He made y'all comfortable enough to be like, fuck y'all, I'm white. And you know what? That's cool, because I see not to fuck with you. Simple as that. I can appreciate an openly racist person. It's them covert motherfuckers you gotta watch out for.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's pretty much the end of that story. Like it's always fuck that nigga, everything he stand for, and the majority of his goddamn family, because y'all are trash ass human beings. Congress is currently out here voting on whether or not they should legalize weed. This story really hits home for some of us here at the Ignorant Noodle Studios, but we're not gonna get into that. The marijuana. Oh man, the Marijuana Opportunity Reinvestment and Expungement Act, also known as the MORE Act. Let me stop right there. I'm tired of the government giving acronyms for like different bills and shit. Like just say what it is. Like you don't have to get fucking creative with everything. Anyway, this act was just approved in the House of Representatives last week, and it has to be voted on by the Senate, which, you know, they are the main determining factor about whether or not legislation is going to get passed. This act will not only decriminalize weed, but also lead the way for those on non-violent marijuana charges getting the fuck out of jail. That is the part, prison actually. That is the part that I like. You know, because there's plenty of people out here that's capitalizing and making money off of weed, but there's motherfuckers that look like me and the majority of the audience of this show that are locked up for having, you know, an ounce, dime bag, etc., etc. So I like this. Doesn't say shit about the years lost or institutionalizing them they may have received. Doesn't say shit about the years they lost or the institutionalization of said individuals that are behind bars for petty ass drug charges. And, you know, there's no talk of, you know, compensating them for anything.
That's the wildest part.
Like this, America is shit. I like it over here sometimes, but it's shit. Until we get Nadaria back, Dre would like to say this: some man was running through the streets of Houston in his underwear screaming that he had been kidnapped. A Houstonian seen it and called the cops. When the cops arrived and found the man, he said there was a house with about 30 other people in it. They investigated the house he was talking about and found 25 other men and one woman in there. They human trafficking men now?
Everybody get trafficked. The mother countries need workers and laborers and sometimes sex slaves.
That's wild. just leave people the fuck alone. Like, damn, like, there are plenty of other ways to scam and do illegal shit and get by in life that doesn't involve you dehumanizing somebody else. I'm not agreeing with said alternatives, but it's the lesser of two evils. If you're gonna do some self-destructive shit, just let it be that, self-destructive. Don't let it destroy somebody else's life.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Uncle Fred. Ain't nothing shaking but the leaves on the trees, and they wouldn't be shaking if it wasn't for a breeze. And we are back with another segment of Inword Sport. Everybody, it is December 5th. Yes, sir. And that means we are 5 days away from a real GOAT's birthday. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. You're welcome. But more importantly, we got Errol Spence taking on Danny Garcia tonight. And I'm picking Earl for this fight. My colleague says Earl in 4 to 6 rounds. I think that would be, that is plausible. I do see Earl taking this fight. Body shot. Sean Porter is rumored to be next up for Earl Spence should he go ahead and win this fight. When he wins this fight, I would much rather see him fight Manny Pacquiao. That's just me. I mean, Pac-Man has a stronger legacy. It actually means more. He wins more by fighting Pacquiao. And honestly, the Bud fight it's not going to happen anytime soon, it doesn't look like. By Bud, for those who don't know, I'm talking about Terrence Crawford, the pound-for-pound champion right now. But I just don't see that fight happening right now. They got to find a mutual understanding when it comes to this money. They got to find a 60-40, 50-50. I don't know, 45-55, however it lines up. I mean, we got two big names talking about boxing each other, but right now, we're talking about Earl Spence taking on Danny Garcia, and I got Earl Spence in that fight. I know normally I get on here and I talk about certain HBCUs and what I believe they can do. Now, here's what I genuinely feel about Norfolk basketball. Norfolk had the opportunity to do something great when playing Old Dominion. Now, I will say this, the effort was there. The atmosphere was amazing. I mean, more people had tuned into this game than they ever believed. So that's first and foremost. But I really wanted the Spartans to take out Old Dominion. One, because I didn't like the coach's demeanor about why they haven't played each other, being that the schools are so close in proximity. I didn't like that. I didn't like that the university came back, man. You guys fought so hard to come back in that game. You closed the gap to 62 to 68, no, 61-62, and just to lose the game 66 to 80. Now, I'm assuming that's fatigue right there. That sounds like fatigue, a valued effort to get back into the game just for them to hit another gear, and you guys have already hit your second gear. So I get that one. But you guys have a chance to redeem yourselves. I will say that Norfolk can redeem themselves. They do have the opportunity of playing my number 1 HBCU in the country in the Hampton Pirates, as they knocked off George Washington to kick their season off. So, I mean, that is going to be a great matchup. It's going to be a great test for the Spartans. I am very confident in the Spartans, but I do say Hampton is not playing. They are prepping themselves to be another bracket buster. They are also prepping to be ready for the Big South. So I like Hampton in this matchup. I do like Norfolk to make it competitive. I expect Devontae Carter to play his lights out for Norfolk. So very excited for that game. I look forward to seeing them play on Monday. So now we can't talk about the number 3 HBCU and the number 1 HBCU without getting number 2 involved, right? So we got to talk about the Texas Southern Tigers. Now, the Tigers did just take a 12-point loss to St. Mary's, but here's a stat that I want you guys to hang on to. When a team goes 16 from 34 behind the 3-point line, they're going to beat a lot of teams. They're not just going to beat HBCUs. You're going to beat a handful of teams. Now, here's also what I take away from this game. I don't believe that St. Mary's is 12 points better than Texas Southern. I just believe that they had a hot night shooting. I mean, you shoot right under 50% from the 3-point line, you're going to beat a handful of teams. I mean, that's very impressive in itself. I mean, we can go and look at Texas Southern's the past games. They had their first game where they lost to Washington State by 4, 56-52, which is a good game in itself. Well, we could talk about the game that they had against Oklahoma State, but that's a great team again. I mean, Oklahoma State has Cade Cunningham on their team. That's like the best freshman in the country. And then we look at the Wyoming win where they come back from 21 points. Now, I don't care what school you go to, but if you're at HBCU and you go down 21, it's not really, it doesn't come to somebody's mind that you're going to come back and win the game. So the fact that they even had the grit and determination to come back and win, shout out to the coaches, shout out to the players, shout out to all of them. Now, this makes for the SWAC to be a very interesting conference this year, as we have 3 teams inside of the top 5 of HBCU programs. We have Texas Southern at number 2, we have Prairie View tied at 4, and we have Alabama A&M following up at the 5 spot. So this is going to lead for a jam-packed season. I also like the fact that Alabama State has Mo Williams as a head coach. That just makes the conference look a little bit more attractive when it comes to basketball. And when we talk about the MEAC, we have to talk about NC Central knocking off Southern. That's big in itself. We have to talk about Morgan State and how they've been playing. We got to bring up NCAT as they just upset Charleston Southern. I don't even know if I want to call that an upset, because I actually kind of expect a lot of those top 5 HBCUs to beat a Charleston Southern or a team like Charleston Southern. So I'm very excited about HBCU basketball. We have a lot going on. Real quick, let me go ahead and rank those teams for you guys. So the number 1 HBCU, Hampton University. Number 2, Texas Southern. Number 3, Norfolk State. Leading at the number 4 spot is Prairie View A&M with a big win over Evansville, and they've been challenging themselves playing teams like Louisville on the road. So shout out to those guys. At that number 4 spot, we're giving that to NC Central, who got a big win over Southern University. Had a guy go out there and drop 33 points. So that is big, that you're going to need to segue your way into MEAC play. And then, of course, at that number 5 spot, we have Alabama A&M, who, of course, knocked off Samford to kick it off. The women's team has even beaten Troy. So this is a great program altogether. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Alabama A&M actually offered LaMelo Ball when he was in high school. So they literally had the nuts to do that. So shout out to them. Very excited about HBCU basketball, HBCU sports as a whole. Now, if you are an avid follower of Inword Sports, I promised you that we would go ahead and rank your HBCU swag on the football field. So let's go ahead and kick this off. Coming in at the number 5 spot, we have Lincoln University. These guys are the epitome of what it means to actually wear orange and navy together. Like, it's just crisp, it's clean. I wish the play on the field matched with how good they look, but man, when they step on the field, those boys look nice. And that orange and that navy, man. I know Langston does it. I know Morgan State does it. But, hey, man, nobody's doing it like these guys here at Lincoln. Coming in at the number 4 spot, we have a classic look with Hampton University. That silver on that blue and the white, man, that is untouchable, man. I'm sorry. It's just a very clean, classy look. I love the way the helmet shine, man, when the light hits it. I mean, it's great. It's a great combination. I hate it when they put on the black cleats, though. That goes with all universities. I hate black cleats with white socks. It just looks weird. So then we got coming in at the number 3 spot, we have Prairie View A&M. Now, this is the wrong purple and gold university, but I love the way Adidas hooked them up with their swag, man. I mean, the purple chrome lid we can't top that. I mean, Alcorn had a chrome lid. It was a gold chrome, but that was in 2017, man. We're talking about the current up-to-date last season, what these boys were just stepping out in. And if you ask me, Prairie View held it down with these combinations. I love what Adidas did for them. Adidas, man, look out for Alcorn. If y'all can help us get away from that mocha gold or that 24-karat gold, that ain't gold. We need that real gold, because that gold ain't gold. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we got Bethune-Cookman. Now, Bethune, they have some pretty weird looking colors to me. I don't like these two colors, that maroon and that gold together. I don't really like it. But man, when they put on these chrome lids and the white uniforms with that whole unit is just sick to me, man. Like, and even to say that they have such atrocious colors, they still come out with some great uniforms, man. So shout out to Bethune-Cookman. And number 1 on the list, we have to give this to Grambling State for going Doug Williams vintage. I love the fact that they decided to add the red back into the colorways. This is amazing. This brought back so much nostalgia from times past, man. Like I said, the Doug Williams days. So this was big to see that Grambling went back to their original colors. We also had some other notables, man. I mean, NC Central is a hit, but man, I don't know who's piecing these uniforms together, man, but they got to do a better job. They got too many great combinations of color and of style for them to be messing up with the way that they be messing up, man. I would love to see NC Central hop out there in that all black, man. Hey, that is cold, man. Like, they can do it. There's some great teams out here. I love HBCU sports. I love sports altogether. I love you guys as well. And I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Hey, you guys have a great one. And this was Inword Sports. Woo.
Now to the y'all hiring segment. The Lineage Skin and Hair Studio is a mother-daughter duo skin and hair care products. They sell masks, face wash, moisturizers, and all the other good stuff for your skin. They even have men's products for you XY chromosome folks. Okay, Simcray is blessing the graphic designers from across the pond. She created a brush for natural black folks' hair texture. So if you're a graphic designer and you want to create black hair easier, visit her Instagram and see how you can get that. Like drawing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, like when making hair for black people, there isn't like an easy way. So I guess she created a program.
Because hardly anything in this country was created for us.
Mm-hmm. That's why she did it from the UK. Because she ain't in our country. Apparently their racist is just as bad as ours.
Oh yeah, I can believe it.
Well, not as institutionalized, but the people.
I can believe it. Okay. I apologize for the way I'm about to pronounce your name. I do hope it's right, and if not, again, I apologize. Mercia is a resin artist. She creates multiple items, knickknacks, clocks, and other things with all the resins and whatnot. So if you're interested in, getting some of that for your home decor or as a holiday gift, check her out. Nettie? Mm-hmm. Nettie clothing is Nigerian-made clothing. Everything is custom and made to order. It's Afrocentric female clothing. So if you like the natural heritage look, these are the people for you. They also offer worldwide shipping. Bianca Dunn is a stylist and creative director. Dre personally met her when she was a personal stylist at Topshop, but she had previously and continues to be a stylist for many celebrities, including names such as Young Thug, Chloe and Halle, and most recently, Beyonce with the Black is King project. It's funny how you say Chloe and Halle as if it was one
You got
word.
to. That's how they market.
That's how they market. Yeah.
Like that's the weirdest part. Yeah.
That's like, it's like saying South by Southwest. Like, it's like Chloe and Halle. Like, you can't just say
if
one.
you say Chloe or Halle, people like Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Chloe who? But Chloe and Halle. Oh yeah, I know those two.
That's crazy. Aromas by Armand is a new candle melting business. All candles are handmade and melted by one person. The candles are soy, so they're vegan friendly. If you want any parts of that, hit them up. Dre recently received one and it smells like Starburst. That shit smells good as hell. Is it in the house? Or did we burn it?
Nah, it's at the studio still.
Why do we still have a studio? Studio's here.
I know, right? You want me to go get it, huh?
You gonna light it?
I mean, probably not right now.
I mean, no, hell no.
Yeah.
Hey, we out. Like, we having personal matters. Like, we out. Enjoy y'all's week. 2020 is almost over. For those of us who are here, let's try to make the best of it. See what else this shit ass year's got in store for us.